Yes, we are live.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Maham Hussain and I belong from Pakistan. I'm a fellow at WomenAscension, a global organization dedicated to advancing peace, justice, and women's rights. It's an honor to be here with you all. Before we dive into today's important topic, let me tell you a bit about WomenAscension. WomenAscension is a global cause non-profit organization that is working for the betterment of the society by outlining female issues as well as targeting all the 17 SDGs in 81 countries, virtually by collaboration and numerous projects. It was founded in 2021 by our Dr. Maheen Amjad. Within WomenAscension, we have a specialized division called WomenAscension Peace and Justice, Fostering Pluralism. This division focuses especially on Sustainable Development Goal 16, which aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Today's webinar will focus on empowering underprivileged children, education as a gateway to peace and justice, covering SDG 4 and 16. Education is a fundamental human right and a powerful tool for promoting peace and justice, making it essential to address the educational needs. As we discussed the recent report published by Education Ministry, it is revealed that 2.62 million children are out of school today in Pakistan. And we can see the different percentages. This report highlighted 39% of these children are not attending school for various reasons. So we will discuss about the challenges and the solution of this topic. This revelation raises concern about the state of education in our country, urging authorities to take proactive measures to address this alarming situation. By empowering these children through education, we can provide them with the skills and knowledge necessary to break free from those cycles, fostering a more just and peaceful society that our WomenAscension platform is focused on. Our webinar will explore the critical challenges faced by underprivileged children, the transformative effect an education can make, and actionable strategies to ensure every child has the opportunity to learn and thrive. Today's discussion will be a panel format, allowing us to gain deep insights and explore potential solutions from our esteemed experts. We aim to understand not only the challenges, but the solution we can provide to empower these children. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished speakers for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining. We are fortunate to have you, and I'm sure that you are going to bring the wealth of knowledge and experience on these subjects. So let me introduce my first guest, who is Dr. Maheen Amjad, the founder of WAPJ. So welcome, Ma'am Maheen. It is my pleasure to introduce you. So sharing her introduction. Dr. Maheen Amjad is an esteemed serial entrepreneur, mentor, and philanthropist. As the founder and president of WomenAscension, Ma'am Maheen empowers women globally and advances 17 sustainable development goals. She also leads as a CEO of Entrepreneur Call, eCall, and Shavant, and serves as a chairperson at Trade Turner. Additionally, Dr. Maheen is the head of Education and Women's Department and Feed the Poor. Her dedication to education, sustainable business models, and humanitarian efforts continues to inspire and uplift underserved communities worldwide. Please join me in welcoming Ma'am Maheen Amjad. So our next guest speaker is Ms. Wendy Umeh, an inspiring force in the realm of education and community empowerment. Based in Nigeria, Ms. Wendy is an accomplished educator, entrepreneur, SDGs advocate, and content creator with a bachelor's in accounting and professional certification in human relation management, customer relation management, and health safety management from Benetton Resources Management. She brings a wealth of knowledge, and expertise to her role. Additionally, she is a certified Montessori early years and special needs education from Ontario College of Education and a dedicated SDGs advocate. This is so amazing to say all these things about a person, and I'm really glad I got this opportunity to introduce this speaker. And furthermore, with over 12 years of experience in the education industry, Wendy founded Venerable Montessori School, where she channels her passion for teaching and learning. Her commitment to giving back is evident through her active membership in the Nigeria Red Cross Society and the Institute of School Business Africa. So Wendy is deeply passionate about gender equality and regularly volunteer her time to mentor and support educational initiatives for underprivileged children. And that we can see through her presence here. Thank you so much, Ms. Wendy, for giving us your precious time. So as we proceed, I would like our audience to ask questions from our experts. And I will now give floor to Ms. Wendy with this question. Let's discuss this topic and let's focus on the webinar's topic. The first question is, what are the most significant barriers underprivileged children face in accessing quality education, and how can we address these barriers effectively?
Okay, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to be in this meeting. Okay, let me start with what underprivileged children is. When we say underprivileged children, we talk about children living in poverty and may not have access to healthy food or good medical care. And they often go to school, to the worst school, or not even have opportunity at all to attend school. So now, barriers underprivileged children face in accessing quality education, one can be language barriers. When we talk about language barriers, communication, they might feel timid because they don't know how to express themselves or to spell correctly. Number two can be child's labor. Child's labor, at tender age, they will be doing the work that they're not supposed to do. It prevents them from going to schools. Number three can be gender roles. Gender roles, in some tradition, they can say a woman will stay at home to do domestic work, while male will go out there. They are the breadwinners. All these things are the barriers facing underprivileged children. Then the most important about this is poverty. Poverty is the most pervasive barrier to education. Maybe where there is no money, they cannot be able to attend quality education. They cannot be able to meet up with other children. So they feel timid. I believe all these things are the barriers underprivileged children face in our societies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wendy. Definitely, poverty is one of the major things that causes this discrimination, and I agree with you. And so let's move on to the next question. That is from Dr. Maheen Amjad. Ma'am, how can educational initiatives be designed to not only provide knowledge, but also promote peace and justice in communities affected by poverty and inequality? What is the role of educational initiatives in this regard?
All right, thank you very much for giving me this question. Maham Beta, there are certain things while looking at the regions where we feel like we are not getting to the particular set of percentage of improvement. That is because of peace and conflict issues, majority of them. And we call it peace and conflict when it comes to either political ground or at the social ground. It's going to be a quite descriptive issue when we're going to solve it. So how we can take a micro level step so we can initiate towards peace and justice is that first we need to integrate curriculum design for peace and justice. We must involve the community as a whole towards learning about initiatives which can um, solve within the community. If there is some conflict, we can solve within the community with such initiation. So for those initiation, we need to have awareness for that, learning for that. So integrative curriculum is a must. And the second approach could be what I call it is like community-based programs, and I see a lot of NPOs and NGOs working towards that. You see, if they have group of community and mobile workers who are initiating these, program, working towards, conflict resolutions, dialogue, and what you can say that they are solving issues related to violence. So that could be one thing, involving the community-based programs. Other thing is always SDG 17, it has to be network and collaboration. For every gap, you can find solutions through collaborations. So we have to understand the importance of collaboration and viable collaborations, not idealistic approach on valid reality grounds. So when we collaborate on realism, we can definitely come up with the capacity that we have, the skills that we have, and how we can bring that capacity and skills together, and we can amplify an effort. Moreover, the thing which is missing now, Maham, a lot, is that when it's normal human behavior as well. When you are so much into problems, you don't like to do anything else, but rather find peace. But the solution is not there to find your peace. Solution is to find activities where you can prepare yourself to find solution out of it. When you meet people, when you network, in short, when you meet people to different webinars, different trainings, different workshops, different schools, or gathering where you can initiate such talks towards peace and justice, how we can design, how we can align ourselves. The more you talk and interact with like-minded people, you will find way out. So we have to incorporate extracurriculum activities in which we are designing, we are shaping the community as a whole so that we can initiate a major prospect or step towards peace and justice. So I think these would be the most important areas that I have learned myself during these years. And these were always successful if we have made it very much clear and we work together towards reality. But one thing which is missing the most, that is integrated curriculum. We don't have curriculum design related to awareness and giving the strength and ability to the community to solve peaceful conflict resolutions. Thank you, Maham.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Maheen, for such detailed answer. And those are many valuable insights. And definitely, we need to work on that. That leads me to another question. That despite the efforts of many NGOs that I already been observing, why do we need to see a how can we see the greater impact on the education outcome of underprivileged children, and what can be done to enhance their effectiveness? Because I see that there are many NGOs working, but still there is so much to do. So how can we see the impact on the greater level? And
should I continue or Miss Wendy?
Okay, should I continue?
Yes, please, Wendy.
Okay, despite the effort of many NGO, okay, why should we not see a greater impact? Okay, to my own perspective, I would say encourage active community engagement and participation in program planning, implementation, and evaluation, especially that evaluation. Because when we do evaluation, I believe that we will find out where we are lacking behind. Then another one is ensure sustainability and develop exit strategies for programs to maintain long-term impacts. Leveraging technology to enhance program delivery, monitoring, and evaluation. Another one is addressing systemic inequalities and underlying causes of poverty and disadvantages, building resilience and coping mechanism in underprivileged children and their communities, celebrating success and their progress to maintain motivation. Because when we celebrate the success of the ones that the NGOs has successfully helped, or those, I believe others will come out to participate willingly and will achieve what the goal at the end.
Thank you so much.
I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really brilliant. So, Ms. Wendy, can you please share from your experience? Have you ever any case study, any example where education has significantly transformed the lives of underprivileged children and any community? Any example you would
Yeah,
like to share?
yes, I have, because in my area is a rural area. So there's some schools that once it's raining season like this, the children don't go to school. They will be at home because the facilities are very poor. The infrastructure are very poor. So once it's rain, the classroom will be filled with water and it will spoil their materials. So a lot of things, so they will not be able to go to school. They can even stay at home like months. Once the flood go, they cannot come back to school. So I've worked with them, but I still need to put more effort because there's still a lot of things to put in order.
That's really great. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing that. And Ms. Wendy, there is some from my personal observation, and that is connected with my last question. That what role can various stakeholders such as governments, NGOs, and the private sector play in ensuring that every child has the opportunity to receive a quality education? Because I find out that in my university, when I go out and when I see the children, they are selling things, and we try to help them out, but they hesitate. In fact, if we try to educate them freely, they are quite hesitant, and their family members, they are not willing to educate them, despite the fact that we provide them everything free. So how can government or NGOs or stakeholders can play their role in that scenario?
Okay, let me start with the government. I believe the government to implement policy and programs supporting underprivileged children. Government should also allocate adequate funding for education. Government should also monitor and evaluate education quality. Government should also provide infrastructure and resources. Then for the NGOs, they should advocate for policy changes and funding, support teachers training and development. Then they suppose mobilize community resources and volunteers. Then for private sectors, offers mentorship and job training, invest in education initiative and sponsorship. Then for the communities, encourage attendance. The community should be able to help to encourage underprivileged children to come out to participate in the quality education. Then the community should help to advocate for quality education. Then for the teachers or the educators, they should receive proper training and support for teaching underprivileged children, and also develop inclusive curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wendy. That was really great to hear, and that's a nice, that's a brilliant aspect that you brought. That community should play its role, and if everyone played its role, then we should not be hearing discussing this topic right now. So I hope that everything is implemented in that order that you shared, and we will
Thank you.
keep playing our part. Thank you so much for all your efforts you are doing in this scenario, and you are not just teaching, you are practically doing everything to make an impact. And thank you so much. Further, I would really appreciate it if we can continue this interaction, and I will be learning from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dr. Maheen, Amjad, would you like to share something regarding any question that I have asked from Wendy?
Yes, Maham Beta. I would like to add a few things from my experience. Rather than learning from the workshop, I experienced it when I was working with different NGOs and NPOs. We always state that in the seminars that, the OECD says only 2% of global humanitarian aid goes to education, and it's not up to the level, and we should, increase the budget. It's not just the funding area of any any global organization that is funding globally to globe, you can see that the quota rate for even country budget is quite lower for education than that of anything else. So this is one of the dilemma that we don't trying to admit. One of the thing is that, and second is that we are so heavily dependent on external funding that we have made our mindset, let's say as an NGO or NPO, that if I'm going to get the funding, then the project is going to run. If funding is not there, the project would be ending soon. So we are not preparing our fellow NGOs and NPOs towards uh, sustaining that idea, how they can sustain the idea. So we have to move towards that. We have to, okay, taking help from the third party is not a problem. But if you are not grown enough as a leader, that you, with the funding, with the passage of time, you cannot find a viable solution to sustain your idea, within your organization, then it means you are not at that level. That's why many of the NGOs and NPOs are there, but they are not performing. They're relying. Being relying is not a problem, but once you get the help, you must know how to sustain the idea. You must have the way out. And usually nowadays, people even who want to fund, they want to know if whether or not if they're going to sustain the idea. The same way, I would like to tell you one thing, Maham. That's the example of Karachi, Pakistan, and it's a story of 2015 to 2017. All right. So that's one of the NGO name that you have taken, Feeds the Poor. Okay. So under Women in Education wing, we were at that time, and we are right now, even we were looking and taking care of Orangi town. And if you Google Orangi town, you will know, Maham Beta, that it's one of the slummest area of Karachi, literally slummest area. But now it's growing up. Why? Because one initiative, two initiative. Now people are growing up because we have to make them realize you have to mold your way. So as an NGO, what we did, we circled the area where we cannot see women at all. We cannot see education at all, because when there is oppression, that children and women doesn't have right at all until unless they become adults. Especially for male, it's not a problem. Female, it's always a problem, no matter what her age group is when you are oppressed. So we were trying this one thing. We need to end the domestic violence. We need to end, that education, that ratio which is declining with time. So we, the business community, we bring in, from our pocket money, we just come up with a fund which, now open one water sanitation. Just like water, like what we call it, refined waters. We started that business with the name of Aqua 360. You can find that in Google as well. So it's a very small initiative which caters not more than 250 families in Orangi town. You can say that it's 3 street of that particular area. So we give them water bottles at home. We get their confidence. We give their female water bottle at home to label it. We provide everything at home. And we used to give, at that time, one bottle, 1 rupees. Okay, so they used to earn sometimes, in a week, more than 8,000 rupees. The more they input the work. Okay, so those ladies at home, they started earning around 40,000 to 45,000 rupees at that time. Okay, so what happened? The women got empowered by skill. She started earning, okay, by getting the opportunity. You have to provide opportunity. Okay, then that woman made way so that her children gets education. And when I go to those 3 streets now, it's quite a different story. I can see women outside. I can see every kid learning. Every kid learning. So, as an NGO, this is what I'm saying. We have to go out of our way. We need to understand who can help us, who have that patience. So getting the fund, again, not a problem. Sustaining that idea, it's very important. So Aqua 360 is just running to support that family. The idea to sustain about the empowering education in that area started with Aqua 360 under the umbrella of Feeds the Poor. So you have to come up with this idea. Nobody will ever give you funding. So as a fellow NGO, NPO person, please, let's sit together, find sustainable ideas. You cannot rely on governments, you cannot rely on UN and global community to always feed you. They will not. Eventually, they will support you for a couple of years and they're gonna move on. And we have to take the leadership position as leader. I hope, Maham, I think I've said a lot. I will end it here.
Thank you so much. This is really inspiring. Yes, Miss Wendy, do you want to say something? Okay. So it was inspiring to know that, and exactly this is all about, this is what we are discussing, that not just starting the plan, starting the idea, but make it sustainable. So this is quite really eye-opening for me, because I can relate that when I plan something and I decide to do something, the initial enthusiasm is very different, and then later on when we don't see any, we try to rely on each other and we don't see that help, so we become disappointed, and at some point we just try to shift our energy somewhere else. So this is the program like this we can get inspiration from. So thank you so much, Miss Wendy and Miss Maheen, for sharing such inspiring insights. And should I now wait for the question from the audience, or Maheen, can you please tell me that we should wrap up the session, or we should wait for some other question?
I think there's one question, and the question is that how we can collaborate remotely to bring in this educational change.
So, Miss Wendy, would you like to answer this question?
So how we can collaborate to, sorry, I didn't get the question right.
I think the audience want to know how we can virtually connect and come up with solution for this problem. What actions should we take for remedy?
The action, okay, the action we should take, I think, just like what you say, it's not just government allocating the funding for education. I think that evaluation, assessment should take very, very seriously, so that at the end, the aim that we are trying to achieve, we will get it.
Great aspect. Thank you, Miss Wendy, once again. So, okay, one more question from my side just popped up into my mind, that how, if we are not part of any NGO, how individually a person can try to make an impact in a, we can say, a short time and at a starting point, and then that can lead to, of course, if there will be collaboration, but initially, if a single person as an individual, how can he make an impact and make an effort to overcome this issue, like in community, or in, like, we can say that in even at home, or in at family level. So how can we encourage our family members to promote education and play their part, like as an individual, and that will of course lead to collaborations and NGOs at a very basic level.
No, Maham, I don't think so. At individual level, you need the help of NGOs, and trust me, from my perspective, if individually you have that ability to convince other person about, for we are talking about education, you give importance of education, convince that person, okay,
Yes.
that how education can mend their ways, all right, and you lead, you start mentoring that person, finding ways for them, it's not all about monetary help, but sometimes it's the help, finding the right resources where that person can take help. You can change a lot of life, and this cycle is very contagious. Once a person or community start trusting any individual, because if they see change, so find that ability to convince, to reason, and that's a great help if you can provide to your community, Maham. It can start with, you can say, the person who's coming home, like maids children, start with that. You can see fellow workers, any shopkeeper, you see that they are not educationally sound. You can provide them resources where they can, find ways to improve themselves. Education and skill. Education is not all about books. Education is about giving skills to improve their lives. One step ahead towards quality. And education is the next name of skills, and skill is the next step for the quality of life that you're looking for. When we consistently improve this cycle, not just in our lives but others, you can see just sustainable economical growth everywhere, because it's understanding, because they can find the answers for themselves. And it starts with one person in the community who want to take that lead and voice up and reason.
Brilliant. Thank you, Maheen. That's really heartwarming to hear that. And I think we are done here. So any remarks, Miss Wendy, if you want to add something? Okay, so any question from the audience? All right, I think
all our doing comes up. Yes, we are done here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do the conclusion. So in closing, I want to thank you, our speaker, once again for their time and expertise. Your contribution have provided us with a deeper understanding of the impact that education can make in someone's life. And thank you so much, audience, for participating and engaging, even by listening. So thank you so much, Ms. Maheen, Amjad, and WomenAscension for giving me this opportunity to lead this webinar, to facilitate it, and learn a great deal from both of you. Thank you so much. And I hope that this discussion, for not only for me, but the audience, was informative and provoking. So I'm looking forward to contributing to this important dialogue in future events as well. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Maham.
Thank you.
Thank you.